Hello, everybody. This is Angelique Tsang, and we are today interviewing Leilla Blackwell, a relationship expert at New Life Tasters. Leilla, you told us that you would love to coach Ross and Rachel from France. So tell us a bit about why you would like to coach them and what you see are the relationship issues that they have been struggling with. And, maybe also give us a bit of clarity around which stage you're actually talking about, because they have an on and off, like very roller coaster type of love-hate relationship. So tell us about it.
So true. They really do have a roller coaster relationship. And I'm going to focus a little bit more on the "we were on a break" section of their relationship. I think everyone remembers that statement was made so often.
Yeah.
If I had been their coach at the time, they would still be together, raising their baby together.
Oh, yeah. And when they were on a break, are you referring to the fact before they got the baby?
Yes, before they had the baby. This was more in the beginning of Friends, like season 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Where they were first dating for real.
Yeah.
And not just flirting with each other.
So,
and then it turns out, yes.
Tell us a little bit about, people who haven't studied, relationship dynamics and differences between men and women and how we actually miscommunicate all the time. Could you maybe tell us a little bit about how you would have approached it? Let's say one of them would have been dragged into your room, or into your office or onto Skype, and you would be, you would work with them. Where would you start? I mean, what would you have observed in terms of the dynamic between the two of them?
Well, seeing what I did see from the episodes, if they were to convey that to me in their message when we were meeting, I definitely would have helped them be able to see that, A, they were both competing for significance in the relationship. And that's a lose-lose situation. Neither of them was focused on love at that time in the relationship. Rachel was looking for significance at work, and Ross was looking for significance in their relationship, wanting to be more important than her job. And we're both just battling it out and duking it out, competing with each other instead of loving each other.
Can you tell us a little bit about the human needs in terms of significance and love? Because this is something that other people might not understand, how actually this plays out in relationship dynamics.
Yes, absolutely. The need for significance is a need that everyone has. All humans have. There are 6 human needs, and the need for significance is one of them. It shows up as wanting respect, wanting attention, wanting accolades for what you do. Just Rachel wanted to make it known that her job was important, and she wanted Ross to see that her job was important, and Ross wanted her to see that he was important. And so that's the dynamic going on there. And when it comes to love, people seek love and connection. They are one and the same thing. And when that's not evident in a relationship, that people are seeking that from each other, and that's put on the back burner in favor of other things like significance, then the relationship takes a wrong turn.
Yes. So, do you know whether Rachel maybe and both Ross were actually looking for love, but that they were, the avenues that they chose for, thinking that they were worthy of love were just so, so 21st century, like a woman almost being like a man, going for her career, feeling independent rather than being vulnerable and telling Ross, I need you to man up and to be present and just own me and just claim me, and so that I feel loved and so that I can relax and be less hysterical. Sorry, this is all my own personal interpretation about Rachel's behavior, and especially because Ross was
Angelique. Yes, absolutely. They really did reverse roles a little bit. Rachel definitely was coming forward to Ross with more masculine energy instead of the feminine, playful and fluid and relaxed kind of energy that femininity brings. And that doesn't mean not okay to have that masculine energy in the workplace, but when you're coming together with your partner in life, your romantic partner, your intimate partner, you want to show that side of yourself. If she had approached him with more femininity and understanding, this might have gone differently. And the same with Ross. I think he felt like he needed to step back a little bit because she needed to feel that significance in work, and she needed to feel that. So he was downplaying his own masculine energy.
And of course he had this whole issue about having been abandoned for another woman by his first wife, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, which is like a running joke.
Feeling jealous and nervous that his girlfriend was more interested in a coworker at work than she was in him.
Yeah.
And so that was definitely coming into play. There were a lot of dynamics there that could have easily been fixed. And they would have had completely different, like maybe we'd still be watching Friends today, new episodes.
Yeah. The problem is, of course, is that it would have not have been that funny, because actually Friends is all about the neurosis of people and how we recognize our neurosis. And actually a TV series that has been, you know, internationally so popular and so funny, you know, episode after episode after episode. I mean,
that is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. And I guess that's what happens in real life. You know, it's one thing on TV to have those dynamics play out. It's funny, it's engaging, it brings us the variety that we need in our own life sometimes. And maybe for a lot of people, the alternative might seem a little boring, but it's exciting for the couple who's living it out. When you have the right dynamics playing out in your relationship, it will absolutely be exciting for the two of you, even though it may not be as exciting for anyone else to watch.
Yes, and I do have a question around, you know, basically even coming to relationship coaching, when people actually even end up, you know, in your practice. I mean, it's not too generalistic to say that it will probably be the woman who will, or the wife or the girlfriend that will come to the relationship coaching, and the husband or the boyfriend thinking, what am I doing here? So how do you actually, and let's say that for some reason Rachel has dragged Ross, you know, to this coaching first session with you. I mean, what would you try to achieve in terms of getting them aligned, and how actually it could benefit them, instead of him always feeling so insignificant because of the miscommunication between him and her, and also because he didn't feel empowered to actually stand up to her, you know?
Yes. Now, you said some key words there. You know, he wasn't feeling significant, she wasn't feeling significant, and it really was just a miscommunication. And that's a lot of times what it is in life. And so when a couple comes through my door, or we talk on the phone, or we Skype with each other, I try to let them know that this is not about finger pointing or blaming, that no one in the relationship is wrong per se. It's just all about perception and perspective, and looking to the other person so that you can step out of your own head and stop trying to get someone else to meet your needs, and look at how you can meet their needs. And once you take that focus off yourself, like in the case of Ross and Rachel, if Rachel looked at it and said, he really loves me and he wants to spend our anniversary together, that makes perfect sense. If she looked at it through the eyes and the filter of love, then she would see, while she's needed at work, she could have expressed that in a different way to him, and he would not have ended up feeling as insignificant. And the same with Ross. If he had been acting really out of love instead of out of significance, because everything he did really seemed like he was acting out of love. So I would have let him know, if you were really acting out of love, once she told you that she needed to be at work and asked you not to come to work with the picnic, you would have respected that and maybe laid out the picnic at home and have her found you waiting at home in some sexy little outfit or, put out some roses and some candles and some wine and made it really romantic for her at home for whatever time she came in. So when you're acting in love, those are the things that you do for each other. You have a little give and you're a little softer with how you express yourself. And so it's just about helping the couple see there's no finger pointing. It's just how are you really filtering the way that you relate to this person.
Okay. And we talked about this before where you were saying that Rachel was more the masculine, whereas Ross was more the feminine. Imagine that Ross would come and say, please help me be more masculine. What would you do?
Are you asking if Ross had come and he was more masculine?
No, he wanted to be more masculine, but he didn't know how.
If he wanted to be more masculine and didn't know how, I would put him in a state of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That being masculine is all about changing your state and feeling it and focusing that energy on the one that you love. Masculine energy is all about being solid. Mm-hmm. It's about wanting to protect and cherish your partner, your lover. And so if you are coming from that perspective, then that's going to come in a feeling place in your body. And then that's easy for you to focus on and express to that person in a more pure way. So it's all about a state change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And let's say he would come back the second time and Rachel just doesn't even see, the change in him. How would you keep on continuing working with him?
It's just letting him know that he has to step up. If it's about his masculine energy coming to play, getting him to step up and to continue to pursue. One of the things that I remember from that episode is that when they had their initial argument and she said, I think we need to take a break, he went to the bar and he saw Joey and Chandler at the bar and said, I think I need to leave it alone, it's too soon. And Chandler said to him, no, it's not too soon, you've got to call her. And that thing is to continue to be the pursuer. No matter what your girlfriend, your wife, your woman, no matter what your woman does, you have to let her know that you're right there. It's like the ocean washing over the rocks.
Yeah.
The ocean is fluid. That's the feminine energy. The rocks are solid and they're always going to be there. Yeah. And as a man, when you're right there by her side for your woman, you don't have to move. You just have to be right there. And if he had been right there, then things might have gone differently. And so that's how I would coach, is for him to know no matter what her rages are, no matter what tensions she might bring into the relationship, that he just needs to be there.
You know what?
Be solid and the same.
This totally sounds true to me as a woman, because I think what a lot of women don't understand, and that's why women don't understand from themselves, is sometimes when we actually unconsciously push away men, we're testing them. And, we're actually saying, if you really loved me, you would come back and pursue me, and you wouldn't allow me to push you away. The fact that you are basically stepping back because I am bitchy or I push you away is that you don't love me enough, because you don't come running back after me. And I think a lot of men probably don't get it, and the ones that do get it, they're probably the ones that melt women like butter in their hands. And
absolutely, that is so true. And I think a big part of the problem is that our society socializes men and women to be less of their own energy. Yes. Society socializes women to be less feminine in order to be successful, and socializes men to be less masculine in order to be socially acceptable.
Yeah.
It makes people more at ease when a man is a less masculine man. When you have a man that is in the fullness of his masculinity, it can be a little bit jarring.
Yeah.
And in order for him to be more acceptable socially, that is what we've done. We've said you've got to tone that down a little bit. But in our personal relationships, in our intimate relationships, it's important that we feel open and vulnerable enough to be our fullest self. And if we're going to bring that energy anywhere, it needs to be in our most intimate relationships.
That is where it has to start, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Starts at home.
Yes. So Leilla, I really want to thank you for this amazing interview. I think I have a really different take on Rachel and Ross for sure. And if you guys want to get in touch with Leilla, click the links below and, you know, look at all her tasters and her offer. She has a really amazing range of, you know, really niche kind of tasters for every type of, you know, relationship issue that you might be facing, whether you're single or whether you're married or whether you just had a baby. So contact Leilla for her for a session and watch some of the other videos about Leilla. Thank you so much. Thank you, Leilla.
Thank you, Angelique.